Okay, Lancer, let's do it. Right here today, it's a USWA Tag Team Title Match. First introducing the current holders of the USWA Tag Team titles. Coming in today at a combined weight of 441 pounds. From Australia, the superstar, Bill Dundee. And his partner wrestling out of Memphis, Tennessee, here is the King, Jerry Lawler. Lawler and Dundee, the current holders of the tag team titles. Their opponents today coming in at a combined weight of 495 pounds. From Memphis, Tennessee, Too Sexy, Brian Christopher. And his partner making his very first appearance here in the USWA from the islands of Hawaii. Here is Flex Kavana. Flex Kavana. We're ready for action. Bill Rush, the official referee. Let's send it over now to my buddies, Lance and Dave.
Boy, this is the way you get it started for real, isn't it, Dave? I got to tell you, when you got a team, Brian Christopher, Flex Kavana.
Dave, real quick before we get this match started, I just wanted to come over here and introduce you, and introduce Lance, and introduce all the fans to this man right here. This is Flex Kavana, baby. Oh, yeah. Now get ready. Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, I heard what you said. This man heard what you said. You said that you make up for the lack of big muscles with your ability. Well, you make up for the lack of big muscles with your big fat mouths. And me and Flex are going to shut up for you today. And we're walking out of here the new USWA Tag Team Champions.
You know, it's as simple as this. It's very short, quick, and simple. We're very naughty by nature, and we're very violent by decision. You know what? I'm done talking. Get ready, because here we come.
There they go, headed for the ring. Flex Kavana from Hawaii. Brian Christopher, you know him well. You also know the champions, the superstar and the king. This one has the makings of a real match here for the USWA today. Tag titles are on the line.
We also got a little edge put on it with Lawler and Dundee making their comments about the lack of mental abilities of their two opponents and turning right around, not being the shy and retiring one. Too Sexy Brian Christopher says, you make up for it with your big mouths. That's what you do. I'm looking forward to this one, Dave.
Oh, ought to be a good one. Lawler starting for the team of Lawler and Dundee. Lance, keep your eye on you mentioned you've heard some of the fans talking about the tactics that Lawler and especially Dundee have used in the match. I was a little shocked last week at some of the things that I saw going on as they won the titles. We'll see what happens here today.
Scoop! Slam! Christopher repeats it. Slams Lawler down 3 times in a row. And here comes Dundee. Scoop slammed him. And off and running, and I mean full tilt, is Brian Christopher as he handled Lawler and Dundee consecutively. And we haven't even seen that big strapping guy that's his partner, Flex Kavana. Heard a lot about him. Be interested to see him the first time he gets into action.
Well, Brian Christopher, since the first day we saw him, has exuded confidence as he stepped into the ring, and he's certainly showing it here today. He has had all kinds of championship belts himself, no stranger to titles. And he and his partner, he feels even more confident with Flex Kavana standing over in his corner as his partner today. As they go for the tag team titles. Well, now there is something that maybe could be described as an attention getter for Brian, as Lawler just dumped him, slammed him right in the center of the ring.
After the early opening that he had so successful, that was kind of a wake-up call as Lawler beat him to the snatch and grab, picked him right up and slammed him down. And back they tangle it up. Collar and elbow, back to the corner. Christopher pushing the head back to whip diagonally across the ring. Hooks that arm, and I mean, he hip tossed him right out in the middle. Christopher looking strong.
Lawler a little disgusted. The referee checking with Brian to see what happened because he has been informed by the team of Lawler and Dundee that Christopher pulled tights. That's what Dundee is saying. They tie it up again. Back in the corner. Lawler with the advantage. He whips him across the way into the turnbuckles. Oh, Christopher blocks. Hey, that short clothesline took him right down to the mat. Dundee had wandered into the ring. Bryan said, hey, I'm ready with a super kick anytime you're ready to head this way. Dundee back out on the apron.
Referee Bill Rush trying to get him to settle down now and stay right with wrestling. I don't know that that's going to be the case, not with the personalities involved.
Fans on the front row chanting super kick, super kick. They want to see Bryan unleash one.
I want to see his partner get in there and unleash one, see what he looks like.
That's what Lawler has just said. Said, hey, why don't you go to the corner? Let's see what your partner can do, huh? I said, okay. Here comes Flex Kavana. First look at him on USWA Wrestling on TV.
He's a big dude. It's no great observation. It's pretty easy to see when you stack him upside the king in there. But as Lawler said, there's no substitute for that experience and mental abilities. And Lawler puts a shoulder and right away, I mean, that's a jumping jack. Knocked him down, he popped back up before he could turn around.
Oh, he lets Lawler go by a couple of times, sets, takes him down, and immediately back on his feet to catch Lawler on the rebound.
Oh, yeah! Looking good.
Dundee's livid. Yeah, screaming he pulled his hair. He did not. Lawler immediately got over to the side of the ring and wrapped both feet around the bottom rope. And now Lawler and Dundee are outside the ring. And maybe they didn't exactly want to see what Flex Kavana can do because Mr. Kavana sure looked good first time around here.
They've seen enough already. They know that this guy can go. This is not the first time he's had a pair of tights on. There's the tag on the superstar. In he comes. He'll be tangling for the first time with Kavana.
Lawler and Dundee not impressed early on, but now that they've seen not only Bryan but Kavana, you got to wonder, would their confidence be shaken? Do they now feel, hey, these belts are in jeopardy?
Well, I don't know, Dave. We both know Lawler and Dundee, and it takes a lot to shake the confidence of these two veterans. Dundee right straight at him, and immediately he's pushed off and down on the floor again, almost rolls out to the concrete floor. And Lawler comes in, puts the finger out, and I don't know exactly what he's saying. He pulled his hair. That's what Lawler's saying.
Well, that's what Lawler and Dundee have both been doing. They've been complaining about pulling tights, pulling hair, anything they can do to kind of get the referee watching their opponent more closely.
Tie up. Dundee shovels him into the rope. There's a leapfrog. Comes around with a drop kick. As Dundee down on the deck, not the greatest drop kick I ever saw, but by golly, it put Dundee on the deck.
I think that shows some of the power of Flex Kavana. He did not get a good drop kick, but Dundee was fairly close to him, and it knocked Dundee back, especially considering what Dundee had been through up until the kick hit him.
And Lawler takes back over again. Bryan Christopher, not an unusual role for him. He's over there cheerleading, and boy, his eyes are glistening, Dave. Bryan loves this competition, and he's got him a partner he can swing with.
Yeah, watch out for that left fist, Flex Kavana. Yep, there it comes. We saw Lawler do the same thing last week against his opponent as he and Dundee won these belts.
Kavana coming straight after him. He took that shot from Lawler with that left hand, and it headed right after him, and Lawler thought it'd be a good time to get the referee involved and keep those fists from flying.
Using the referee as a shield.
Yeah.
It was effective, and that speaks well for Mr. Kavana. He backed up rather than taking a swing, taking a chance on hitting the referee.
Lawler over to have a word with Bill Dundee. You still, regardless of how impressive Christopher and Kavana have looked, You still got to say, from the outside, Dundee rips with a right hand, and another one. As while Lawler shovels him in, Jerry goes over at Brian Christopher, and Dundee working on flex with the referee's back turn. Lawler holding. Dundee pitching.
Cover 1, 2, oh, Flex Kavana throws Dundee about 3 feet in the air to break out of it at a 2 count. Dundee immediately over to the corner, the tag on Lawler. They double him up. Flex Kavana into the ropes. The upper arms from both of them. Dundee's celebrating. He thinks maybe it's over. Lawler picking up Kavana. The match continues. USWA tag titles on the line here. The champions, Lawler, Dundee. And the right fist again doubled up, puts Kavana on the mat.
From the islands of Hawaii, Flex Kavana making a deep impression, but don't forget this guy. Here comes Too Sexy, pounding away. Lawler taking a shot first from Christopher, then from Kavana. A little coconut crush there as Christopher hammered their heads together, and now Dundee caught by Kavana, Lawler by Christopher. Into the ropes they go. Trying to get around behind. A double abdominal stretch on Dundee and Lawler. And the referee clobbered by Dundee. Bill rushed down on the deck while Christopher and Kavana holding on to the abdominal stretches. Dundee reached out, Dave, and just hammered him with that left hand.
That's one of those things we were talking about. Dundee did that on purpose. That's going to get him disqualified. These guys are in danger of losing the match right here. He nails the referee. That's a DQ. So Lawler and Dundee are going to keep the belts on the disqualification. No signal from the referee, but mark my word, that's what it's got to be. I mean, Dundee just point blank nailed him with a fist.
Brian Christopher a little premature. He grabs the belts and he's indicating they are the new champs. That would be a difficult thing to believe because the referee turned around and signaled the bell. Of course, it could have been submission on the legal man in the ring, and now Rush is saying they are the winners.
Yep, they were the winners, but by DQ.
Just what you said, Dave. Yeah, by disqualification.
Well, I hate to see that, and the match does. The belts don't change hands on the disqualification, but really the referee had no choice. When he is hammered like that, all he can do is disqualify Dundee and Lawler, and there should be a fine attached to it, too.
Brains is what it's all about, Dave. Who's still the champions, the king and the superstar?
Yeah, well, you call it brains. We may call it something else.
I'd call it purposely hitting the referee. We got to take a break. That's all. No more.